Hey guys, welcome back to a new video, and today I'm gonna be showing you how to make a module system. So first, in the last in part 2, I made an error in one of our events, so we're gonna open up NetHandler Play Client, and instead of doing event.cancel, we're gonna just return, and we'll do that at Network Manager as well. And then before we begin with our modules, we're going to make one more new event. That event is in render, and that will be event render model. Extends event. And we're going to create a getter and setter. Okay. We're going to have private final entity living base entity. Private final runnable model render. Private final runnable player renderer. And then we'll press Alt Insert and generate a constructor with Alt 3. And then we'll have public entity living base get entity, and just return entity. Public void draw model, and this dot model render dot run. Then we'll do draw layers too, and just layer render. Okay, now we're gonna have to hook up this. Oops. Okay, so we're gonna go to renderer, living entity. Here at render model, and then just below this, hold up. Okay, below this we're gonna tutorial client. Okay, we're gonna do gl11 dot gl disable, and then we're gonna disable gl11 dot alpha test. Okay, and then we'll have a new event renderer model. Event equals new event render model, and then we're gonna have entity living base in. And by the way, up here we're just gonna put x, y, z, entity yaw, entity pitch, and scale factor. Okay. Enter. Okay. Parentheses arrow. This dot main model dot render, and we'll have entity living base in, x, y, z, entity yaw, entity pitch, and scale factor, comma, another parentheses, another arrow, this dot render layers, and then entity living base in, x, y, render partial ticks, z, entity yaw, entity pitch, and then scale factor. Okay. And then we're just gonna, we'll post this. So event dot set render, set event face, event phase dot pre. Then we'll post. And then we're gonna enable alpha test. and then we're gonna draw model, and then we'll set the event phase to post, and then we'll post it once more. Okay, that should be it. And also you can just do entity lim base x, y, z, entity yaw, entity pitch, scale factor. This is just if we have to revert this, because if we do mix-ins, then we can just revert this, and this whole thing will. Okay, that's it for that, and we are going to begin with our module. We're going to make a new package called module. Then we're going to have a new class called module. And then we'll implement subscriber. And then we'll have a private boolean toggled. And then we'll have a private final string, name and description. Private final category. We don't have category yet, so we're gonna make a new class and do an enum category. Out of this, we'll just have combat, movement, player, render, exploit, and miscellaneous. So yeah, you can have all the things that you need. I only need these, like disabler, derp, chams, scaffold, bhop, killora, just examples of the categories. Come back to module. I have category. And then private final list for that setting. Actually, I'll leave this out. I'll just mark this out real quick. And we'll have a setter. Private int key. And then we'll have a protected final Minecraft. Equals Minecraft.get Minecraft. Oh wait, actually no, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do tutorial.instance.getMC. If you don't have getMC, then you can do what we just now did, but I just like this way. And then we're gonna make a constructor, public module, string name, string description, category. This dot name equals name. This dot description equals description. This dot category equals category. And then we'll just copy and paste this. And then we'll have int key. Okay. We'll have public void on enable. And we'll just post the event. Okay, and then on disable. Oh wait, no, I don't mean post, I mean subscribe. Unsubscribe. Public void on toggle. We'll just leave this blank. And then public void toggle. On toggle. If toggled equals false. Then we'll call on disable else toggled equals true on enable. And we'll just make a set toggle. We could actually call this state on toggle. If toggled, then we're gonna this dot toggle equals false. On disable, well, you know what? If state else this is a little bit confusing. Okay, we'll just leave this out for a second, and if we need it, then we'll use it. Okay, module manager. And then this is, oops, this is just gonna be like handling the importing of. So we'll make a hash map. The class ends module, module, modules. And then we'll do public module manager. We're just gonna make a constructor. This dot modules equals new hash map. And then we'll do register. We're not doing we're doing public void. And then we'll do final reflections equals new reflection. And then we're gonna have to do the file. Goodness. So we have this. So we have tutorial dot, then we have module, then dot module dot. We're gonna make a new package. Impl, this just means implementations, and then we'll do impl. Obviously make this to how yours is. So if you have like something with the dots, like Flumzee dot tutorial, then you just do Flumzee dot tutorial, just like that. But mine's not like that, so yeah. But make it how your line is named. We'll do final set class, and then it's module classes reflections dot get subtypes of module dot class. And then now we're gonna do for class extends module. We'll do underscore class. No, we'll actually just do class. No, we can't. Do underscore class colon classes. Try catch. Okay. We'll do final module module equals underscore class dot new instance. We'll do modules dot put module. wait, we'll put underscore class comma module. Okay, it's good. And then we'll do unregister. Oh, my fault. Yeah, there we go. We'll do public void unregister module dot modules, and this is just gonna be like any amount of modules. So for module mod colon module, we'll do modules dot remove mod dot get class. Boom, that's it. Now we're gonna get our settings all set up. Okay. So we're gonna have a new package setting or settings. We'll have setting. Okay. This will be an @getter, @setter, public string name. That's all for setting. Now we'll have setting manager. We're not gonna touch it right now. We're gonna add a new package. All that implementation. Let's just see. Okay, 17 minutes. That's actually a long time. Okay, so we're gonna have multiple types of settings in this folder or package, I mean. So first off, we'll start with number setting and just extend setting. Then we'll setter, and then private, double, value, min value, max value, increment, and default value. And then we'll make a constructor. Take out value. Then we have string name. Have this dot name. And then we'll have this dot value. Default value. Okay. We'll have a private static double, or actually, we'll add a new util package called math. Oops. Or .util.math. New Java class math util. And then we'll just public static double lamp double value double min double max. We'll have value equals math dot max min comma value. Value equals math dot min max comma value. Return value. Okay, and now we'll come back into number setting and we'll do public void set value. We'll have double value. Value equals clamp math util dot clamp value comma this dot min this dot max. Value equals math dot round value times 1 divided by this dot increment divided by 1 divided by this increment. And this dot value equals value. That will be it for this. Have a Boolean setting. Let's close out util, and then we'll have Boolean setting. Extend setting. Then we'll make this a setter. Private Boolean state. Then we'll make a constructor. String name Boolean state. This dot name equals name. This dot state equals state. Public Boolean is enabled, and then we'll just return state. Or actually, we could just return state. Bring this up. Public void toggle. Set state. Yeah, that's it for toggle. Boolean settings pretty small. Mode setting pretty big, and then we'll have another. Okay. This will be a mode setting, and then we'll do getter. Extend setting. Private final list string modes. We'll make a setter for private and mode index. We'll have another setter, private string current mode. Okay. Public mode setting. String name, string modes. Now this dot name equals name. This dot modes equals modes. Oh wait, no. This dot modes equals array list. Arrays dot as list. Modes. This dot mode index equals this dot modes dot index of modes 0, and then if current mode equals null, then current mode equals modes 0. Okay, we'll just copy this over, and then we'll have string default mode. And we'll have this dot current mode equals default mode. Okay. And then we'll do public void cycle forward mode index plus plus. We'll do if mode index is greater than modes dot size -1, then mode index equals 0. Current mode equals modes dot get mode index. Public void cycle backward mode index minus, and then if mode index is less than 0, then mode index is equal to modes dot size -1. Basically just reversing this logic from this logic right here. So then current mode equals modes dot get mode index. That's it for mode setting. You have one more setting, and that is multiple booleans setting. And actually, I'm gonna rename that multiple boolean setting. Okay, this one is kind of like long. Not necessarily like long, but it's just kind of got a lot in the strings. So we'll do getter for a private final map string comma boolean setting. Bool setting. And we'll create a public multiple boolean setting string name string boolean setting names. This is for if you want to get make boolean setting names, not necessarily like making an actual instance. And then we'll have bool settings, new hash map, and we'll do arrays dot stream boolean setting names dot for each boolean name arrow bool settings dot put boolean name dot to lowercase comma new boolean setting boolean name comma false. Pretty simple, just like long string. And we'll have boolean setting and then boolean settings. Okay. Dot name, and we'll have boolean setting dot name. Wait, no. Dot name dot to lowercase. We have boolean setting dot is boolean setting dot is enable. No. Boolean setting dot yes. No. Is enabled, I guess so. Oh, you know what? That's why. Okay, we're not doing a new boolean setting. All that we're doing is just putting boolean setting because we already created it up here. Okay, so we'll do public boolean setting get setting string name. We'll return bool settings dot compute if absent name dot to lowercase comma k arrow null. And then we'll do public boolean is enabled, and we'll have string name once again. And then we'll do return bool settings dot get name dot to lowercase dot is enabled. And then we'll have public hash map string boolean get settings. Okay, yeah. Get booleans actually. We'll do hash map string comma boolean. Booleans equals new hash map. And then for boolean setting colon bool settings dot get values. Then we'll do booleans dot put boolean setting dot name comma boolean setting dot is enabled. And we'll just return booleans. Setting manager time. Okay. We'll have a public list settings list. And we'll have public boolean setting get boolean setting module comma string name or setting module dot guess settings list. If setting instance of boolean setting, and then we'll do boolean setting equals boolean setting. If boolean setting dot get name dot equals name, then we'll return boolean setting, or else we'll have to return null. Okay, let's just copy and paste this a couple times. Get mode setting, and we'll do mode setting, and then we'll just replace that with this and this and then this. Then we'll do and then we'll have number setting. Get number setting. We have boolean. Whoops. Okay, and then we'll in module back there a list. We'll just undo this. Import. And then we'll have protected void add setting. We'll have settings list dot add setting. That's all for add setting. And we'll do add settings, and then we'll have just dot. And we'll have setting list dot add all. Arrays dot as list setting. Okay. That should be it. Yeah. Okay. Now we gotta just like load up the module manager. So we're here, and then below our font renderer, load managers, and wait, hold up. I come up here, then below private final, we'll just yeah, private module manager. module manager. And we'll do module manager equals new module manager. Okay, that should be it. Now we're gonna add a new package, and the package will just be like the category. So we'll have one for render. The render. We'll also add a new package, movement. Okay, and render we'll do chams. Because no, I just like chams. Extends module. We'll create a constructor. Of this. Name, chams, description, entities through walls. Category render. Keyboard.keyl. Also, if you don't want to keep that, that's why we created two constructors. Press Control O, and then you'll have enable and on disable. Then we'll subscribe. Private final listener event render model. That's the new event that we created on model listener. Arrow. If e dot is pre, else. Okay. What? GL. Oh wait. We got it. GL11. Import that and then import static. Okay. We'll do GL enable 32823. And then we'll do GL polygon offset 1.0f, comma, minus 1 million. That's okay. 1 million f. And then we'll just do the same thing, except we'll bring this down here. And we'll do GL disable. Give it a shot. I hope it works. It looks like it's working. Keeps on coming over here. 40 minutes, that is a while. Press L. What is wrong? Something is wrong. Alright, I'm gonna have to figure this out real quick, so I'll be right back. Alright, I forgot to like actually put the thing where it enables the module. So we'll have to subscribe, private final listener, event key, listener, key equals new listener, e. If this dot module manager is not equal to null, then module manager dot get modules dot values dot for each Okay. If m.getKey equals e.getKey, then we'll do m.toggle. That should fix it. There we go. It's a little bit, it looks black because we don't have full bright, so like you can kind of see the colors because it's still rendering the darkness. Also, to fix that, what we can do is make a full bright module. So full bright, okay. Full bright. And then we'll extends module. Okay, and then we'll create our constructor. Full bright is the name. Description makes the game bright, comma, category dot render, comma, keyboard dot em. Okay, and then we'll have our override method. I have a private float old gamma. Old gamma equals mc.gameSettings.gamma setting. For this back, so old gamma like that. And we'll add a listener. Event update on update equals new listener. Okay, mc.gameSettings.gamma setting equals, just go 100,000. Now it's not gonna make the game like completely bright. It's just kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. Now, there we go. See, everything is rendering through walls, so it renders normal. Also see walls. Is accurate, so if I just like dig down right here, I'd say that's pretty nice. But I notice I keep on having to W tap, and I don't like that. I want to be able to sprint automatically, so let's do that. New class sprint sends module. Okay, sprint makes you sprint whenever you move. Category dot movement keyboard dot keyb. We'll have our override methods. Okay, and then we'll do mc.gameSettings.keybindSprint.setPressed false. I actually have to go to keybinding.java. Scroll down to like line 1. Okay. Tutorial client. We'll do public void set pressed boolean pressed. This dot pressed equals pressed. And if we go back to sprint, we can do subscribe, private, final, listener, event update, on update equals new listener. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so let me. Okay, pretty simple. All that we gotta do is E, the arrow, light on. I couldn't. Okay, and then we'll do mc.game settings dot keybind sprint dot set pressed true. Okay. So we have Chams, Fulbright, and Sprint. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Okay, I forgot that I don't have clicked UI. Press B and you'll be sprinting whenever it's like necessary. Even when you're flying, it'll make you sprint when necessary. We have Fulbright, Chams, and I'm pretty sure like when stuff gets out of your render distance, it's not gonna show up. Yeah. But still, it works. So like if I just dig down right here, creeper. It pretty nice. Cool. I don't like having like random middle click. Does not work. Okay. Next video we'll get some like GUI set up. Alright, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.